G'day, welcome back to the 40 channel. So this is only going to be a short, quick episode just on rebuilding the drag link. Last episode you saw us do the relay end and the rod end and the steering. It's perfect time to strip down and completely rebuild the drag link. We won't put it back on the car until all the steering's done, but at least we know it'll be done. Let's get into it. We're going to strip down our drag link, clean it all up, make sure everything's okay inside the drag link, paint it all up, reassemble. Right, let's pull this drag link apart. Pull out the split pin. Unscrew the rear plug, spring will fly out, we'll catch it, then we'll inspect all the parts, clean it all up, put a new grease nipple on, make sure it's okay, give it a nice bit of paint, and then we can One thing I don't show you guys much of, because it's so boring, is the cleaning process. So stripping everything down and cleaning it down, especially when it's so old, it's got like surface rust over it all, old dirt and old grease and build up of grime and all that type of stuff. It takes a long time, and if I was to show you guys even like little montages, we would be here forever and you're just watching me clean and scrub. But what I did with these is I gave every part a really good clean. So I cleaned up all the small componentry stuff inside. Just with some 600 grit emery paper, some R1, sprayed it on, cleaned it up, came up awesome. All the arms themselves, I cleaned up with stripper discs and then a little wire wheel. And what's really cool is when you start cleaning all this type of stuff up, all the little hidden Toyota emblems start to reveal themselves. So they're covered up with paint and then oil and then grease and then dirt and build up over many, many years. And it's really cool to start to reveal them. Even with this one, there's a really, really tiny Toyota emblem there, the TEQ emblem. Like from a little stamp, it's probably only like 3 mil in diameter, so it's really cool. But the good thing is, we've inspected all these parts. There's no wear, there's no damage, the bore's excellent condition. I've actually been constantly surprised at being such an old vehicle, 1965, that so many of the parts aren't as worn as I thought they were. Now the theory I've got behind that is it was an old fire truck, a rural fire truck. Most of the time it just sat in a fire shed waiting to be called out, maybe called out once a week for training, bit of a run around the block, and then sort of 4 months of the year would go flat out during fire season, being used hard, and then put back in the truck, well maintained and looked after. So, on theory, my theory is that's why most of these parts are in good condition. It hasn't been used too much. So after it was used from the RFS, it was then sold to some old farmer. He didn't use it a huge amount, it sat mostly in his shed, and at some stage, for some reason, he's taken the cab off it. That part is a bit of a mystery. So, because when I bought it, the cab was off the chassis already. Who knows what? Maybe he was looking at repainting the cab. Here we are, bringing it all back to life, piece by piece. Now we know it's all in great nick. Tape up all the crucial parts where we don't want to get paint. Give it all a bit of a clean with some wax and grease remover. Paint all the components up. Then we can rebuild the drag link end, grease everything together, and it'll be good as new. Right now it's time to put this drag link back together. So every step of the way we're going to be putting some grease on it. So I'm going to continue to use the Molytac grease from Chem Tools. We'll just apply a bit of grease to each part as we put it all together. And that way we know it's going to be lubricated. And all these parts have come up awesome. They've come up beautifully. I've put new grease nipples on. It's all been cleaned up. All the parts have been inspected and it's good to go. So let's put it together. Alright, so our first piece is in. Make sure your dust seal's on place. Grease up our ball. Drop the link over the top, slide it forward. Slide that down in place. Our spring. Take our end cap, screw that in. So we're going to do that up as much as we can go. That's far as we can go. So it feels nice and tight. See if we can get a bit more now we've moved it. Okay. Now we're just going to back it back half a turn. Drop our split pin in. Right, that's it. Our drag link is completely rebuilt. It's all greased, everything's been cleaned up. It's in fantastic condition. New grease nipple, so we can keep that greased up. Seals all cleaned up. New split pin and a new paint job. I think it looks sensational. Just screw it straight into our shaft. Righto, that's ready to go back on the vehicle. Righto, check that out. It has come up absolutely mint. Super happy the way it's come up. Stripped it all down, inspected all the parts inside, came up perfect. Was able to re-grease it, new grease nipple, new split pin. That was pretty much all we needed. Plus a new end from Online Auto Parts. Cleaned it all up and painted it. This thing looks brand new and is ready to go back on the vehicle when we get all the steering and stuff back on. Alright guys, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for all your support. If you want to keep up with the FJ45 fire truck project, make sure you subscribe, give a thumbs up, feel free to leave a comment down below. Until next time, take care of yourselves.